Welcome back to Let's Play Medieval 2 Total War England campaign, episode the 16th with me, Squawker. And when we left off, the Holy Roman Empire had treacherously signed a treaty with the crappy French. I can't come up with insults today. Oh wait, sorry, the fiendish French. Nah, because that didn't apply. I actually am scared of France. The foppish French. To basically try and screw me. So we now find ourselves fighting a war, kind of two fronts. Kind of, there's a French front and a Metz front, but either way, the Holy Roman Empire is not of my concern right now. I'm hoping to in fact extend this war, for if I continue to let them attack me, maybe the Pope will tell them to pack it in, and then hopefully they'll get excommunicated again, and then I can just say, oh right, my turn, or something like that. Because right now the Pope's telling me to stop hostilities with France, and if I do stop hostilities with France, the Pope will not excommunicate me, since the new Pope, who is Mr. Guido of Milan, does not like me. Simple as that. I kind of made a social faux pas when I didn't vote for him and voted for a Danish guy instead, who's now kind of dead. Still, while the Pope continues to pick on me, I am going to win back his favour through a successful crusade. King Rufus now finds himself one turn away from reaching the walls of Cairo, which has been targeted through crusade. Now, I could actually make a quick pit stop and attack Alexandria while I'm here, which actually is feasible. The town has a garrison of only one unit. If you have time, can you do it now?
We shall slaughter them, my lord!
We'll take Alexandria as a bonus. If they're not going to leave a good garrison, then
besieging the
we can do it with in one quick turn. Okay, construct 2 siege towers because the walls are stone. 3 siege towers actually. Just get all the billmen up there, and then yeah.
Patiently awaiting to breach and butcher, sire.
Oh, we're gonna butcher. Seriously, it's an extra city that we can add to Cairo, so I may as well do it. Since the other unit garrisoning is a unit of Saracen militia, who I guess are somewhat at the level of a armoured sergeant. They look kind of tough-ish, so they're richer town folk. So the billmen in numbers should be able to subdue them, and then that gets me a juicy port as well, even if it's blockaded by pirates. But it's also stripping the Egyptians of a city, so because it would be one thing to take Cairo, it'd be another thing to hold Cairo. So if we deprive them of an economic city, at least it's going to hinder the Egyptians a little bit. Anyway, I have Samuel Window on his way to Marseille to have a little chat with him. While Samuel is not my best diplomat because he's still a little inexperienced, I'm hoping that he may be able to secure me a deal with the French to maybe have some peace, and then I can pick on the Holy Roman Empire for a bit or whatever. I just want to pick on people, but since I have a chance to negotiate with the French, since the Imperials are not interested in the treaty.
You merely waste our time.
Well, no, because it is my time you intend to waste, because I'm just going to be wasting my breath clicking all of these lovely buttons, but okay. Like, seriously, it's like, so, apparently it's always very demanding, like, even though I'm going to give you, like, stuff, like, I mean, look, give you, ooh, I can't, right, I'll give you 200 florins for 200 florins for 10 turns is going to be too steep, but it might work. Nope, still very demanding. Right, well, we'll see what happens.
If you wish this to remain civil, stop insulting us.
Yeah, apparently it's like very insulting to offer people money, right?
This meeting was disappointing.
Yeah, no, I really should just stop disappointing myself. Who owns this tile, by the way? Oh, Spain. Oh, apparently this is just part of Valencia, this little rock. Remember when this was a city in a previous Total War game? Anyway, the French don't want peace, the Imperials don't want peace. We'll just play defensive then. If they come to us, then the Pope can narc on them, but I suspect this Pope would not feel that way.
You want dead?
But Mr. Colsey, while we can't pick on the French now, maybe we could start harassing the Imperials with some assassinating, or at least sneak into there, maybe take down the spy, or can we not take down the spy? There's a French spy lurking around.
Need someone removed,
and he's, well, I guess we have to wait till we find him again.
Name thy target, sire.
Have a wander over to Metz and maybe there's something I can do. I did have a spy operating in this area, by the way, but once more he had that weird syndrome all my other spies have, where they die on the second mission they're given. Also, David Kerfos, by the way, is making his way to London. We're going to be picking him up with Admiral Nigel, and we're going to be dropping him off just to help buff up our forces, since we're kind of playing a bit of a delicate balancing act between Paris, Reims, and Cayenne at the minute. So we're going to try and just make sure we have a nice, strongish frontier in order to ensure that we can keep the French and the Imperials at bay while we try to take Antwerp before the Scottish do, because I've kind of just fucked them here, but oh well. I was faster, I had the faster trigger finger, or at least I was just being very reactionary, but whatevs. Anyway, speaking of time and fastness and quickness, how quick will this turn transition take? Because knowing the French, it's going to take forever. Right, so nothing really too significant occurring, but Augustina Guildford's finally got a new wife. So Isabel Dawes marrying in, so well done. We can just get married quickly. By the way, a new cardinal report. We've got 2 new cardinals joining us. Once more, they're all Italian because, well, I think the Italian set's just favouring themselves now. So, yeah, Gicantio Granizio of Sicily is a new cardinal, as is Claudio Richelmi. And I think that's a full house now. Yeah, it's a full house, of which I only have 1 in, and he isn't even a preferati, but oh well. So yeah, end of turn report, by the way. We still remain the #1 military power in the world, so that's pretty cool. And Dublin is up for upgrade, so we're going to do that now rather than put it off forever. And construction report, by the way, Rennes has a communal farming, and Bruges has established its town watch. Don't mean we can retrain anything, but we could probably start working on a town guard just to start recruiting some militia units. But then again, the ability to build a grain exchange always outweighs it, because we need that money. And I did want to build a fairground somewhere, but was it Paris I was going to build it in? No, it would be Reims that has access to that lovely fairground, but Reims is busy right now anyway. But yeah, we'll look at spending in it. This has been proved, by the way. Scotland just continues loving us. I think they're just basically very easily duped now. Yeah, marriage and recruitment report. It's just all retraining this turn. Right, cool. Things to do this turn then. First things first, we're going to get our crusade kicked off with a by striking the first blow against the Muslims or Islam or the Fatimid Caliphate, if they're Fatimids at this point. So yeah, we're going to basically strike a blow to the Egyptians and take Alexandria, leave a little garrison, and then make our way onto Cairo. And there's no other battles to fight here just yet, because once more we're going to cool our jets, and we're also just going to wait it out with Antwerp as well, because then we can get the garrison to come to us, and then things go nicely, and I can even send up for those mailed knights again. So mailed knights, if you'd like to just go and join up with Giles again, he would be very much happy to have you back in the forces. And also we started to upgrade our guys up into better armor. It looks like the silver is probably the max we can get for some of these units, which makes sense. But yeah, if we can continue with the upgrade program in Cayenne, please, that'd be fantastic. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the minute. I've got George and Nottingham now trading iron, making me 34 juicy florins per turn now. Hopefully he gets more skilled at this, because yeah, there isn't really anything else that's worth my money here. And I've got Philip now Dunwich, who is still quite a dull person, but he's actually now making a little bit more money, so hopefully he can make some more while he's at it. Still, got a little bit of money left to spend, but we're going to have to look at Paris as well. Paris's happiness is beginning to slip. It may be worth sending Augustine to maybe govern the town for a little bit. So Augustine, could you head into Paris and just act as governor for a little bit, please? Alright, he hasn't really done too much for it, but it might do you some good to do a bit of governing. And tell you what, work on a council chambers, that might help us. Yeah, it's gonna eat my money though, but then again, at the same time, I want to nip any public order issues in the bud this time around, because I don't really want to be suddenly dealing with like a load of riots and stuff. So yeah, Paris can get its councillors' chambers set up, and then that's Paris happy, because it is a frontier town, and what I don't want is a riot to go and start killing men off, and then, you know, we get into nastiness there. Right, anyway, let's get today's battle over and done with, or the first of today's battles. I don't think we're just going to do it, the siege of Alexandria, and then give up. Well, not give up, but yeah.
Yes, sire.
Time to get crusading. We're miles ahead of everyone else, so we may as well take an extra town as a little bonus prize. So I will now launch the assault on Alexandria, and well, it's time for God's will to be done. So I guess, to be cliched, Deus Volts, whatever that means. And by the way, it is us against Captain Tantawi. Strength ratio is 20-3 because he has one unit of Saracen militia who are now actually slightly depleted. So yeah, I think if we just send a billman in, or maybe even a Templar sergeants or Crusader sergeants, they might be enough. But to be honest, I think we'll play it safe. Send in the billman, they can do it, and then we'll ditch some units out and maybe replace them with some more Crusaders or whatever. Either way, let's move in and just get this over and done with.
There'll be no escaping us now! Attack!
Don't think escape was ever really an option, by the way. They should have done that the last term when they realised I was hovering around with a big army.
Take up your swords. This land needs watering with the blood of our foes!
I guess that's all he has to say, really. Right, not exactly the most inspiring speech for our first crusade, but okay, whatever you say, King Rufus. Anyway,
Face my wrath.
and yeah, face my wrath. Anyway, all troops, if you just like to not take part, that'll be absolutely fine. We're only going to be bringing in a few units this time around, but we're going to have a quick look at our new guys as well, just, you know, well, mainly graphically, but so let's have a little quick look at our new units. So we'll have our Crusader squadron just settle up here. So first things first, we've got these Crusader sergeants. They are basically armoured sergeants, very noisy armoured sergeants. Once more, their attacks are total mystery, but they have 14 defence at least. And yeah, they're alright. They've got bonuses in woods and snow, which might not really be much of a thing in this area, but you know what? Armoured sergeants are something that's missing from our roster, so to have them is actually a good way to fill the hole. We've also got access to religious fanatics, who are just basically light clubmen in a way. Very lightly armoured. They're basically a peasant unit, but probably with a little bit more morale because of their fanaticism. I wouldn't recommend their get-up, by the way, in this desert heat, also known as England at the minute, because, Jesus, fuck, it's so hot. We've also got access to the crusading knights, who are, well, knights who are crusaders. as you can see, they're pretty much on the same level as mailed knights in a way, or feudal knights possibly. We've not really played with feudal knights just yet, but they have a high enough defense. They're pretty good. However, they lack some discipline. They could charge without orders because the whole religious fervour might become a bit too much for them. And last but not least, we've got access to the Great Cross, a anti-cavalry relic thing, because it's guarded by plenty of spears. And I believe this thing is just basically a big morale boosting icon thing. Either way, it's a beacon of God's army, so it shows that, you know, our cause is just, religious, and all that good stuff. The Great Cross will be planted here for now. I doubt the Egyptians will do anything sneaky to stop us. For all we're going to do is we're going to send 3 units of billmen in, and hopefully it's 3 units of billmen who survive this battle. So they're going to march in, take the walls, and, well, bish bash bosh, really. I don't really see too much point in sending in the peasant archers, because we also just get sniped by the towers, and just basically get themselves harmed more than any good they can do. Levy spears, they might be able to tangle with the enemy spears, but to be honest, I just want to get this one over and done with, so I feel like it would just be better to trust the billmen with this task rather than my spears, because they are probably a weaker unit in a way. So I mean, not to insult them or anything, but that's just how I feel. Hobilars naturally won't be taking part at all, because it basically the enemy army is effectively just an anti-cavalry one, so sending in the Hobilars is of no use whatsoever, and King Rufus will just be here. Basically, you lot just await, or actually maybe Rufus you can join in if things get hairy, but apart from that, let's just quickly move in, take this city, sack it if we'd like, or we could be nice and be pious, but we might need to sack it because I don't have a governor handy, so yeah. Either way, let's take Alexandria before we move on to Cairo. So the enemy army is just all in the plaza, so we should have no issue taking this area. So basically going to move in now, get all our towers on the walls, capture the walls, through the gates, and in we go. Like the last episode, we also have restricted view on, so I can't just go and zoom over to the middle of the enemy city, but there isn't really a lot of strategy to this one. We just got to really just cross our fingers and hope the towers don't burn our siege towers down, since we just build them out of cheap wood. But that's what you get when you only use 1 turn to build them, even though 1 turn is equivalent to 2 years. So yeah, it was a fun 2 years for all my men, just basically camping outside Alexandria. I was surprised by the Crusaders didn't get bored and go home. But yeah, not really a lot to see at this point, so let's just fast forward this one and get ourselves set up on the walls. Looks like the enemy towers so far have chosen not to fight back, which is fine by me. I mean, maybe the defences have actually just been straight up abandoned at this point, so
now the butcher's work begins.
The butcher's work will begin, lads. Right. So units are beginning to assemble up here, so we are almost ready to basically get ourselves in the city and doing God's work. So here we go. Right, lads, assemble by the gates, please. Just get yourselves ready. Just, you know, take control of things. You lot as well, assemble over here. You all know what you're doing. Just take control of these towers as well. Oh wait, the buildings. Oh, so we're not even towers, we're just buildings, right? So that's apparently, oh wait, now it's a tower. Alright, I guess we couldn't quite tell it was a tower. I guess, you know, it did look a bit iffy. And naturally, yes, my men are experts at moving as one unit.
The enemy's walls belong to us now.
Alright, I'm going to let my men get a bit more organised first, because I don't know what's going on over here, but I can tell you now it's not supposed to be happening. So yeah, just let everyone get up once and for all. At least I hope. Well, it shouldn't take too long, and to be honest, the Egyptians are going to wait for us, so... Hey, bugger it, you know what? Archers! I know it's going to be a bit of a walk now, but you know what? Get yourselves in here. I think we could just use you to pick them off now. I was just basically expecting that the enemy might just deploy on the walls. Pretty naive thinking of me, actually, but... Yeah, you know what? I'll see you in a few seconds, folks, once these guys are in the city, because we're going to just basically sit around and we're going to snipe, because we can. Right, so the archers have now entered the city, and we are going to start moving them up to attack the enemy. So... to be honest, these narrow city streets don't really offer us many options for making fancy formations, so We're just going to make our way up nice and gently. I'll have one unit of billmen provide a guarding function. But yeah, lads, let's start moving up this street. And can we move up a little bit more organised, please? I'm noticing that some of you are just wandering off in random directions. And it's a bit nonsensical if you ask me. I mean, come on, lads. Well, some of them don't even want to move at all. Right, guys. I'm not asking for the earth here. I'm actually literally asking you to walk up that street, and it's proving a bit taxing for you, which I'm struggling to understand. It shouldn't really be. There we go. You figured it out in the end. You just needed a lot more guidance than you really needed at all. Right. Anyway, archers are moving up the street. As you can see, because of the nature of this street, it's just going to be a bit of a clump, but let's keep moving up because it looks like we haven't quite got range on those Saracens yet, but we're getting there, we're getting there. If we can take control of this area, then it might even lure them into an early melee engagement, but hopefully my billmen can fend them off. I am pretty confident in their ability to do so, and I'll have a unit of billmen tailing my archers as well, so we'll be covered from all fronts really. But yeah. Nearly, I mean, come on. They're not that far away, lads. You must be able to hit them in a minute. I mean, come on. You can pretty much see them at this point. I mean, there they are. Just wait. They're just wait. Ah, here we go. Right, well, some of them are getting into range. We'll let them finish up their deployment. Or, you know what? Hold it there, lads. I think you're close enough now. Let the billmen inch forward a little bit. But, right. Archers who are in range, get to it. Archers who are not in range, keep moving up. By the way, archers, we are not. Alright, I don't think we're using flaming ammo. We're gonna go for straight up kill shots today. Just slaughter them. Simple as that, really. There isn't really any morale to be crippling. Alright, but billmen, you best be ready. You're about to have your first engagement, but for now, nice barrage of arrows is slowly weaning their numbers down. So I am cool with that. No skirmishing, by the way, archers. Should be able to do this one in your own right. Billmen, get in there. Archers, hold fire now. Let the billmen get in there. Get another unit of billmen moving up now, please. We need to make sure we have reinforcements ready. Either way. Guys, when I say stop firing, I do mean stop firing. Come on. Right. Looks like we're pushing against the Saracens okay, but at the same time it seems quite balanced, so I am bringing in extra billmen just to try and make sure that we get this one punched down in one go. Hopefully the Saracens just retreat and give me an opportunity to move further forward, but it looks like so far they're actually going to fight with a bit of tenacity, so I guess in a way well done to them. Probably should have had some cavalry support on standby, but I didn't really want to commit a lot of forces. Billmen, let's get you regrouped, and I want you to basically just plunge yourselves into this engagement. I want you all moving up here and bringing those Saracens down. We are losing numbers here, which is quite annoying, but at the same time some of my lads are just looking like they really want to get in there, or they're just going to pretend to get in there. Come on, lads. Give them a good clubbing with those bill hooks. I know if you do it hard enough you're going to bring them down. Yeah. Not going too well now. Starting to turn against us. It's going to get ugly pretty soon. Let's just speed it up a little bit and see how our billmen do as the fight goes on. Looks like more of them are joining in, and Saracens are beginning to lose ground.
Enemy general lies dead. Good riddance to that Saracen desert dog. That'll teach him to ride to war on a pony.
He didn't even have a pony. He didn't even have any sort of thing to ride on. He was literally on his feet. Whereas pony's a fancy medieval English word for feet.
If we continue like this, we will smash the enemy.
You're being a bit dramatic there, by the way, my dude. Can you... Fuck's sake. Right. Come on, lads. Those Saracen militia are actually being extremely tenacious now. Alright. I'm going to call in Rufus. Come on, lad. You're in a vicinity. Get in the city and give me a hand, please. I'm going to have you try and flank around in some sort of manner. This is not the most well-designed city in the world, if I'm honest. And we'll try and find an extra way onto that plaza. If we can get him in the back of the enemy force, we should be able to win this one over with. But I probably should have called in these cavalry reinforcements a long time ago. Oh well. Anyway, Billman, just keep holding the line. You can do it. Seeing more of them go down and now begin to waver. If I get one decisive charge in from Rufus, we'll win this one. Alright, through the gates we come. Right, Rufus, make your way up this street. This one might get us access to the plaza from...
The enemy army
we won.
the field. Pursue and run them down.
Slaughter the men. Not one of them gets to live because they're not worth ransom to me. They're only worth execution. Like, say if we go like ultra, like Crusader, Deus Vulti here, maybe the Pope will like me more. I'm basically having to commit atrocities to please that bloody old fossil. But if I don't, he's going to give more the countries an excuse to attack me. So I must be careful, for excommunication does remain on the table, and I would rather it not to be there at all. I want to be the top of the Christian kingdoms now, and by doing this I'm going to prove my faith. Right, how are we doing over here? Right, we've got the Saracen militia pretty much down. Rufus, get in the back of them and give them the hurt. I do say that, but remember, this is medieval too, where the cavalry charges are bloody ineffective completely. I mean, there you go. Wow, you got in there really hard, didn't you? It's just a bug, I know, but it's one Rufus, by the way, don't get yourself killed. You're getting a little too enthusiastic, and it's concerning me. Rufus, get yourself out of there. Rufus does like to fight, but at the same time, I don't want Rufus to find himself being dead. Come on, Rufus, just pull out. You'll get a round 2 in a second. Billman, you better be pushing on them. I say they better be, but to be honest, they're just trying. Alright. Got the enemy distracted now, right? Give them a good hard charge now. Billman, pull into their backs and finish the job now. There we go. They'll be crushed now, and luckily Rufus is a little safer now. Somewhere at the back where he's not going to find himself mindlessly killed by a bloody Saracen dog. Or a puppy. They're not dogs, they're puppies. So a dog will fight back.
This is a clear victory that goes to only men of great virtue and valor.
Good victory, lads. Probably lost more Billmen than I should have, but yeah, at least we have a kind of idea of how tenacious a Saracen militia will fight now. Either way, victory really, not a lot to say. We've got ourselves a temporary new home, but we'll be moving on to Cairo very, very soon. And by the way, relations worsened. I'm hoping that's with Egypt.
The settlement has fallen.
Alright.
Take the spoils of war.
We're going to have to go for an extermination. We're going to have to be a bit nasty here because, yeah, I need to purge this area. And whatever, do they have like a mosque or something? Now we can replace it with a church. Get that church set up ASAP, please. Retrain what you can, and we'll move out on the next turn. I'm going to take a quick turn for a breather and regroup some of the building, please. Right. So, yeah, the enemy army has routed. Yeah, abysmal relationships with Egypt now, but hey, guess what? We've got territory in the Middle East now, so that's a start. And yeah, resistance is futile, so everyone will now know that Alexandria is a territory of England and England alone. What do we know about the settlement, by the way? I want to see the details. So, population growth is doing okay, though naturally it's shrunk a bit due to the recent extermination. Public order is not too great because there is a lot of religious unrest already due to the higher presence of Islam. So we are establishing a church now. Should have brought a priest with me really. And income is going to be dipping quite a bit because of the change in ownership really. So yeah, there's going to be it's going to be a bit of a violent shift really for this area, but hopefully it'll subside. We'll keep the taxes low as well, just to show no hard feelings. And yeah, that's really it. And by the way, Rufus, why do you have a pagan magician with you? Because that's reducing your piety. I mean, yeah, you don't have a sense of spirituality. No one of the Pope really doesn't like us. Oh well, whatever. I guess I've got an atheist as a king. By the way, trait increase, Rufus is now considered to be quite mean, which is why he's now got 4 dread. I mean, he now basically consciously works terror and blackmail into his strategy, so, you know, he's a marvellous person to work for. Recruitment options here, by the way, are pretty thin on the ground. It's only spear militia, so a city watch will be something we need to establish pretty much after that church is done, really, so then we can start recruiting some better militia units. But yeah, this is actually a town with some potential. I mean, we've got access to some cool things to build. So when we have the opportunity, I say we try and build them. Simon, do you want to move in and defend our new dock?
Yes, sir.
Since we're now going to be trading navally with, I assume, the Byzantines are over there. By the way, yes, I am aware there's a Turkish diplomat in the area. I'm not going to kill him, don't worry.
Who do you want?
But yeah, we're going to chat with him later.
Yes, my
Actually,
lord.
Samuel, we can move up towards him if you want,
question,
in case he doesn't
sire.
talk to us first.
Tomorrow's journey,
Lawrence,
Your
you're
Majesty.
heading for Poland to have a little chat with them. We're doing fine in Antwerp. Right.
Hail, my
Davey,
king.
if you want to sync up your
Assembling
forces
a
here,
fleet ready, sire.
and then we're going to
Hail,
get
my
you
king.
heading
Loading
for
the troops into the
Cayenne,
Yes,
please.
Taking the troops ashore, sire.
Right.
Hail, my
We'll be in
ships
Cayenne
ready.
next turn. Cayenne, by the way, is going to continue doing what it's doing. Nothing to build there. Well, we've actually got a bit of money now. We've got a little bit of a financial windfall thanks to the victory in Cairo, well, in Alexandria. So in a way, I should probably have used that money to upgrade for Paris, but I can't afford it, sadly, still. We're only a few florins short. You know what? Maybe if we call off retraining for a turn? Oh, it don't quite get me there. Right. Anyone doing something that I can maybe just put on hold for a turn? Don't want to put Dublin's building off. Bruges, what are you doing? You're building grain exchange, right? Hate to take it off you, but this is an opportunity to get Paris upgraded to the point where it's got a large stone wall. So, yeah, I'm going to do that because then that'll put it... Actually, I'll put it ahead of... Rams, actually. So, yeah. I mean, we've already got a fairground in Paris anyway, so that's already brings in a nice amount of cash. So, yeah, I do apologise for this Bruges, by the way, but needs must. Right, so Cayenne is going to continue its retraining. So, what should we use our last couple of florins on? Not a lot really to use it on, really. I mean, I need to get... Oh, I should have sent these mailed knights away as well. Right, they can come on the next boat, but have them ready, please. And yeah, actually, what is our money like? Maybe we can just... We're actually going to make a profit, but we can safely spend the last few florins without incurring a loss. So, rebuild those cogs, and then, yeah. Alright, cool, that's our money dealt with, and we can pretty much move on to the next term. There's no military stuff to do, but
Name
if you
thy
continue having a little
target,
wander around and find any
As you
juicy
will.
Imperials
On my
to
way.
eliminate, then I'm always happy with that. I mean, there's a papal diplomat there, but I don't want to be killing him. Spanish merchant, that's a bit risky. Basically, just find someone who I don't agree with, like this Peter Roth person. What's your chance of killing
Who do you
Peter
want
Roth?
dead?
20%.
You have a target in mind.
Right,
my
we can do
king.
better than that, but right, we'll see, we'll see. Still, I think I am happy to call that a turn. We'll give our Crusaders one turn of respite, and then we're gonna push along to Alexandria. Well, push along to Cairo on the next turn. I should not get my Egyptian cities mixed up, but whatever. Either way, let's just push along. Really simple as that. Really, on to turn 47, and we'll see what awaits us, and hopefully the Pope. How long have I got left? Right, I've got 3 turns of ceasefire left, or 3 turns of implied ceasefire that the French won't respect. And now Alexandria has picked up a reputation for being a crime hole, and we can build another thieves guild. So, I don't know. I'm not going to this type just because while it's cool to have spies and stuff, I'm not entirely sure how long I'll keep hold of Alexandria. I mean, an Egyptian diplomat's already bombarding his way over, so I think they're already going to try and get out of this war, but let's see how things are going. By the way, I'm strongest faction. Oh, Poland's strong. Fuck. Oh well, I guess Poland does have a reason. They are doing pretty well as far as rumours have told us. By the way, Philip, I'm worried that this Spanish merchant is actually on his way to piss on my parade. However, you've got a low chance of killing him because you're not very good at your job still.
You have a target in mind.
Still, finishing off Captain Athelwolf is always tempting. Have a go at him just to continue your practice.
Closing for the kill, sir.
Oh yeah, I should have remembered it's his second mission, so therefore it was the one that was guaranteed to go wrong. Why do I even bother with agents anymore? Like, seriously, all they do is die. It just gives Rufus more dread. Oh well, whatever. Right, relations worship, by the way. Apparently the Byzantines don't like us now. I'm not really sure why. Who do the Byzantines like again, and why have I annoyed them? The Byzantines don't like the Venetians, but they're alright because they're friends with the Holy Roman Empire. That's why they'll be feeding lies to them.
Yes, my lord.
There's an imperial diplomat here. Maybe he'd be a little bit more reasonable.
Sire.
Have you come for the Kaiser's forgiveness?
I have never really transgressed against the Kaiser, but okay. I wish for a ceasefire, trade rights. I'll give you my map information. And I'm going to give you, because I am the most generous person in the world, 1,000 florins.
9. Only a dumb cop would accept this.
Only a dumb cop would fucking reject it. And now it makes Milan hate us for some reason because we're very inept at figuring out the fucking batshit insane AI of this game. Right, whatever.
Approaching their dignitaries.
Go chat with Paul or something. Seriously, it's like in any game. Well, alright, not in any game. It's mainly in Civilization 5 and this game where I'm from Total War, where trying to negotiate with the AI is a bloody losing battle because, yeah. Oh, by the way, the Holy Roman Empire, because they are just literally fucking asking for an excommunicating now, have signed an alliance with Egypt just because I guess they're really super spiteful of me. Like, seriously, that is literally the Holy Roman Empire just trying to piss in my cornflakes right there. There is no other motivation for signing that treaty. End of term report, by the way. We're now the most populous and productive people in the world, so well done to us, and we're making money again. And we are now once more advanced than anyone, so that's brilliant. Faction announcements, by the way, Christian Brown has been born, and Rufus is doing well. And construction complete. Alexandria has established a church. So we're going to start spreading Christendom to the lands. Now, we're taking a risk by leaving these lands due to, well, acts of rebellion potentially taking place. I mean, like, how much is the garrison actually contributing to basically preventing a public order uproar in this area? The garrison is contributing like 80%. So basically, if we leave a small, and also there's also governor's influence. So yeah, we are still pretty hated by the population here, and naturally we're getting a lot of unrest because literally this place is like 1% Catholic. So I want a priest recruiting here to start spreading the word of God, because Aston's basically on the other side of Africa. But we must take forces down to Cairo this turn in order to initiate the siege. Now, we might be able to get away with not taking everyone, because the garrison of Cairo is reportedly quite weak. So, all crusading mercenary units have to come. And the billmen will also be in tow, as will 2 of the peasant archers. And I'll bring
Ordered.
2 levy spears as... Actually, no, I'll leave the levy spears behind for now because I want to see if I can get away with sending this away.
We shall slaughter them, my lord.
Alright, the force I'm sending puts Alexandria already in a bit of a pickle, but this might be enough to basically successfully siege. I mean, the balance of power is already in my favour, so this might work for me. And apparently something's coming in. Relations improved. Wow, I actually do something that makes people like me.
They're dead once we breach the walls, sire.
Prepare for siege towers. And also prepare some ladders. Do we need ladders? Yeah, prepare some ladders. Oh, bring a ram actually. Yeah, bring 1 ram as well. And then 2 ladders. That'll do us. Oh, 1 ladder. No, 2 ladders. You know what? We can wait.
Patiently awaiting to breach and
Yep.
butcher, sire.
The Papal States now really like me because, well, let's face it, I was first to arrive. And oh, look at that. His Holiness has finally started to like me, and the Holy Romans are now in last place alongside the Portuguese. And I think, honestly, the Holy Romans, while they are on the path to reconciliation, they're going to fucking plummet in a few turns if he gets wind of this alliance that they've announced. Tell you what, I'm going to deploy a unit of levy spears over as well. I'm basically seeing how much I can get away with. I always hit that button, by the way. Switch it to a growth build policy, by the way, because, yeah, there we go. Looks like we're going to get away with it, but keep increasing the religious presence of the area. I do want to build a city watch, but I think we need to make sure that the religious presence here also is satisfactory. I think leaving these units behind... Oh, you're not bringing the Blast of Peasant, right. These units will be a satisfactory interim garrison for now. The Egyptians are probably no doubt rallying troops to attack me as we speak, so... And actually we do now have a readout on Cairo's garrison, so we've got 3 of these buggers to deal with. However, I think that the Crusader Sergeants should be a match for them. For what we know now, they bring 7 attack to 14 defense. Yes. Whereas a Crusader Sergeant, and we can also recruit some Sudanese tribesmen who actually pack a bit of an offensive punch, but will be costly. However, yeah, they might actually be useful for buffing out my numbers. But let's just see what a Crusader Sergeant brings in return. So a Crusader Sergeant will actually match their attack, and also actually we just match them, simple as that really. So we've got units that basically will work in the same way, except they can upgrade their armor, but I don't think they're going to be doing that. They've also got Mamluk archers defending the area. They look like lightly armored cavalry, and they're going to be harassing us. So anyway, it might be worth bringing the Hobilars, but I think the Crusader Knights should be enough. And to be honest, given that it's a city and an urban battle, they're not going to be as effective as they'd like to think they're going to be due to, well, their nature. I am tempted to recruit those Sudanese tribes now, but I think for this minute I'm not going to. Just because of the stuff, as in the other stuff we must worry about this term, which will involve stuff really. Like, why does everyone hate us all of a sudden? And why has Nottingham got rebels? I honestly saw that flag for a minute. I was almost going to shout, why has Nottingham seceded? But no. Right, who's the loser and why am I going to kick his bum? This is Captain Charles.
You are not my lead.
Right, he's got 4 units. We'll recruit a few units to match him. Prepare me some dismounted feudal knights and billmen, because once they're done wiping the floor with this guy, they're going to be making their way over to the French frontier. Cayenne, by the way, you're retraining your last bunch of units, so then Davy Kerfos can join, can basically join in and get his retraining done. So for now, Davy, I want you to hold position just for 1 turn.
Yes, my liege.
Oh, actually, you know what? Why don't you just join in now? I think you can... Oh, wait, you won't fit, right. I'm going to deploy a couple of troops then to the frontier. So I'm going to send away the upgraded longbows, the billmen, and upgraded levy spears to watch over Paris. And that should keep Paris in a bit of better stead for the minute. And then, are we free to squeeze in now? Yes, we are, right. So we can continue our retraining across the course of the next turn. Right, we've still got a little bit of money left to spend, so I'm going to pick on Carnarvon. Carnarvon needs to retrain, but it's never going to happen, so I think it's high time we maybe established a town watch. But anything else? Ivernus needs a grain exchange, so Ivernus wins. Bruges needs one as well, but Bruges can get theirs next turn. Right, Giles, you've got your knights at the ready now. And yeah, it's going to be the same battle really at Antwerp, so we're going to just continue holding them down. We've got 3 turns before it's all good for us. Martin is going to continue trying to bring the local people under order. Pretty sure I had another priest kicking around this area. I don't know where he's got to at this point. Oh, unless he's died. I don't know. Let's just check my list. What priests have I got operating in the area? I've got Aston, who is the cardinal, who's currently in Marrakesh. And yes, the Spanish have beaten me to Marrakesh, annoyingly, but I'm a better person than he is. I mean, yeah, he's free. And I'm like, ooh. I've got Paul currently defending Dublin from Inquisitors. I've got Martin, and I've got Hubert. He's currently in Rams, right. Hubert, can you make your way to Bruges and just tackle the last of the bits of like outstanding heresy in the area, please? Or is the Pope going to moan there's no priest in Rams? Like, it's 85% Catholic, so I don't know why he keeps moaning, but whatevs. Alright, anyway. I think that brings us to the end of another turn, where I still have a teeny weeny, eeny miny mo little bit of money left to spend. How shall I spend it? So, not really a lot I want to do with it, if I'm honest. I think I might just hold steady for the time being. Nigel, oh my god, Nigel, what the hell, right?
Yes, all sails.
Just get into the enemy zone. Oh, for fuck's sake, dude. I was going to say, just chill out in a Danish zone of control and then you can do it, but
we'll drop anchor until
we are not sailing around the bloody United Kingdom just to get around there. I mean, the British Isles or whatever, right? Anyway, I think that's once more the end of another turn, and this is going to bring us a turn closer now to siege in Alexandria. So, I think I'm going to jump on to the next turn, though looking at the time, I don't think I'm going to squash in the siege of Cairo this episode, because it is going to be a 2-turn siege, basically, because I'm going to try and whittle the garrison down a little bit, and also just because I am building a bit of extra siege equipment this time around. Oh, actually, it's going to take us one turn. Alright, we might be doing it then. I think we're going to be going for it, so let's go to the next turn, and yeah, we're going to be breach and butcher, but yeah, I think if nothing gets in our way, I think we'll go for it then. So on to the next turn we go. And by the way, you are heading up to speak with the Turks. Good news. Right, Portugal's back on our case for some reason, but now we've been invited to build the Guild of Explorers in Alexandria, and I guess it's our hold on the city seems to be stabilising. Perhaps this can happen. So, as time goes on, lords and sultans have realised that finding new lands is generally easier than conquering known ones. Explorers Guild houses a gathering point for pioneering types to further the pursuits of traversing the earth and proper cartography. The guild tends to offer its findings to the local military, making troops more graceful travelers. So I guess this means I will get a little bonus to maybe the movement of my troops. Maybe we get better pathfinding. So I will approve this guild and see what happens. And oh, a merchant's asset seized. Manfred von Salza. He wasn't one of mine, was he? He was one of mine. See, I was going to kill him, but then it turned out my dopey assassin couldn't do it properly. Right. This is why I just don't really feel very interested in bothering with merchants in this game, by the way. Path blocked, by the way. Samuel's path has been blocked by an annoying French person. Right, keep moving up. You're not that far away from having a chat with him.
Tomorrow's
a French cardinal, by the way. If only we could kill him. End of turn report, by the way. Yeah, actually, no, we're doing good. Alright, money's down a little bit. But look, we're topping 3 categories now, military, population and overall, so that's pretty cool, because we are now the strongest faction once more, and the Holy Romans have become more advanced than us. But London is up for its next upgrade, however, yeah, it's going to be very expensive, so it's going to have to wait maybe a little while, but at the same time, get that fairground up and running, even though that's going to drain my coffers, but we do need it, and then spend the rest of our money on retraining. But don't worry, guys, more money will be coming imminently. Faction announcements, by the way, Evelyn Baker's been born, and Edgar Baker has an overseer, which is giving him a discount on his construction, his farming output, and additional mining income. So, well done. That's going to help us out in Rams a little bit. By the way, Dublin has completed its upgrade, so it'll have a few fun new things to have a play with now, such as better markets and all that cool stuff. However, we'll have to worry about that next turn. Recruitment report, by the way, Nottingham has recruited us 2 units of dismounted feudal knights and a unit of billmen, and a priest in Alexandria to start spreading the word of God around the area. So, I think his presence is probably going to start the conversion, so I might keep him around for now. Or I don't really know where priests are supposed to go. Maybe I can have him like just, hello, Philip of Painswick. What do we know about you, by the way? 2 piety, and he's got a divine connection, so why don't you just sit around here for a minute and just start spreading the word of God? Alexandria, ooh, we can't afford one, but I will be recruiting an additional priest as well, just because I could use one in Cairo as well. War, by the way, yeah, Portugal's back on our case. Why, I don't know. And our relations with Hungary are now considered to be poor because, let's face it, the Holy Roman Empire, ever since signing this stupid treaty, has just basically started shit-talking us the world over. So, that is literally what they're doing. I don't really want to fight them again. So, you know what? You
yes, my lord.
Go south, chat with the
Tomorrow's
Portuguese,
journey
and
planned
tell them
out,
just to, you know, stop it, because what they're doing is really annoying. 2 turns away from getting Antwerp, by the way, so that will have pretty much seized all our local rebel territories very soon. And I think once we have Antwerp, I think we're going to make our move to finish the Scottish once and for all. Because at this rate, I don't really have a lot to lose diplomatically. I'm hated by everyone, so may as well just add more enemies to the list. Right.
I will only address you in battle.
We don't seem to have any new information about this Captain Charles, by the way. While the units I have are good, I am a little wary of the quality of, well, not the quality, the diversity of my army, really. I'd rather have a unit of archers prepared, so we're going to wait until I have some archers ready. Nigel, by the way, after you've embarrassed yourself, can you make your way to London and make that pickup? And I guess, really, enough dilly-dallying, enough shilly-shallying, enough dancing around the many issues. We're going to make our move. Rufus! I now command thee to siege Cairo. You shall do this for the good of God, and the good of my standing of a pope. Because maybe if we become more and more pious, people will learn not to have wars with me anymore. So, do it for God.
We shall slaughter them, my lord.
I wish you the best of luck in this siege, Rufus. This is your big moment. If you did want to know, by the way, King Rufus is fighting Captain As-Saleh, and we basically outnumber him 3 men to 1. Strength ratio is 2 to 1 in my favour. He does bring a couple of Saracen militia, who have proved to be quite tenacious, but luckily this time we have a unit to match them, and will be a bit more tactical since we can play with more of the city. He also has Mamluk archers. These may try and get in our way, and they are somewhat defensive, but I think if we get our spears stuck into them, they'll go down like any cavalry unit. So, let's bring them down once and for all. Let's take Cairo and complete the first crusade.
Show no mercy! Kill them all! I carry many great wounds, all honorably earned in battle. Aye, and all earned in honorable service, like a true Englishman. Perhaps today I will gain another scar if that is God's will. I am certain, however, that I will strive to gain another victory. Our Egyptian foes should pray to their god, as shortly they will be judged before him. We will send them all to heaven or hell soon enough. I see the foe dare not fight us man to man, but must rely on a woman's stratagem of throwing things at us. And now, I trust my life and victory to the judgment of the Almighty, for I know our cause to be true and just. So pray, you miserable English buggers, and make sure God knows you think the same!
Okay, men. You know what to do. Let's do it.
Units, await my orders!
So, welcome to Cairo, home of the Fatimid Caliphate, their seat of power, soon to become our base of operations for a conquest of the Holy Land, and to help me get towards my goal of occupying and, well, annexing Jerusalem. So, our scouts have reported it's a pretty large town. Taking this gate will give us a relatively direct route to the city's area, where there's a minareted masjid and cool stuff like that. Many towers. But yeah, the strategy today will be to take the walls, though there will be this time enemies fighting against us. They'll have no wall archers, but there will be squads of enemy horse archers patrolling the city. So we should try and bring them down at any opportunity we get, and also get control of the gatehouse so we can let our amazingly amazing Crusader Knights come in. Because if the Crusader Knights get a chance to attack them and catch them, they should probably bring them down thanks to their heavier armour and greater skill with their melee. But we must get into the city in the first place. So, starting with the ram, it's not going to be carried by Billman. It is instead going to be manned by one of our religious fanatic units. They're squishy and expendable, so while they're not going to last long in any sort of engagement, they will be able to basically just do the initial clumping and jumping. And the others will follow as well as a backup, and if we get through, I'm going to try and swarm these lads through the gates just to tie up the enemy while we get the rest of our men organised. So, you know, they should be alright just for, you know, but they're basically a fodder unit as far as I can tell. I mean, they're only really bonuses. They have more morale than a peasant. Right. Now, as for getting on the walls, I'm going to have the lovely Crusader Sergeants carry the ladders. The reason why I'm going to have them do it is because since they're a shielded unit, or at least this is my logic, and they've got a bit of an accent going on, but if they man the ladders with their shields, they'll probably be able to tank some of the enemy's arrow fire. They're going to try and take the areas closest to the gate because this is what I'm going to entrust them with. So, Billman, you'll be manning the towers, and you will be also assisting in the taking of the walls. But it's going to depend on how well the enemy defends them. But to be honest, I am suspecting in my heart of hearts that the enemy is going to have pretty much all their Saracen militia deployed on the walls. And since they're all in good numbers, we need to make sure we're going to be hitting them. Billman will try and basically hit wherever there is not any Saracen militia present and provide flanking support, since the Billman were struggling a little bit, if I'm honest. This depleted unit of Billman will just be left as reserve for the minute. Right, Great Cross will also be moved into the city at the appropriate time. Knights, you will come into the city once we have control of the streets. Rufus, you'll be acting on your own. You'll be assisting with the plaza as usual. Spear militias, you will be here in the centre. You'll be taking the streets because you'll be dealing with the enemy cavalry. Archers, I'll see if there's anything we can get you doing at this early stage of battle. It most likely will be just trying to harass the enemies on the walls. I'm going to split you off into 2 units, and we're going to try and get you all using your fire arrows, because let's face it, you already don't have a cat in hell's chance of hitting anything, so let's just make it even worse for you. And that's really about it. We've got our men organised how I want to, so the plan is drive the Saracens off the walls and then drive into the city, get any cavalry dealt with as we encounter them, and hopefully at the end of the day, we'll be walking into our shiny new city, and a Pope who has a very, very high approval of us. So, let us initiate this battle. And as predicted, the Egyptians have chosen to defend their walls. So, we're going to get into a ramming position and start bringing the rest of our units into the area. So, looks like the Saracens are going to have deployed closer to the gates. So, this will be an excellent opportunity for our Templars to engage. So, they're already moving forward. Our lovely little fanatics are not having the best of times against the enemy, but that was to be expected. Right, archer squads, move out now and see what hits you can get while we have the opportunity, because the enemy towers are just doing everything they can just to make life hard for us, because we've already lost the ram. So we won't be getting in through the gates at this rate. So right, you lot pull back. I'll have to find another use for you, but don't bother yourselves trying to take this gate anymore. The enemy's brought us down this time around. We need to build better rams. I don't know if we unlock this ability or whatever, but yeah, something really needs to be done about that. Anyway, our first mega massive volley of fire arrows is going out. I don't know if we burned one enemy down. I think I saw something catch fire, but we're basically doing what we can against the enemy. Any hit? Oh, there we go. See, if we bring at least one down, it's already a triumph. But right, lads, just because we're about to deploy at the walls, can we keep our volleys now a little less fiery, because I don't want to see all my own men burning down, because I've already seen 2 of them have caught fire, but I'm going to give you the benefit of doubt and assume a tower did that one. But yeah. Alright, tell you what, is there anything else you guys can shoot at now? Right, you cease your fire for now, because now it's getting a little bit too close. New lot, that was your last volley as well. Cease fire for now, await further orders. Oh, you tell you what, you might be better off giving the...
siege towers have reached the walls. Now the butcher's work begins.
Alright, lads, get away from that tower. It's burnt down. You're gonna have to take the ladders now. You're gonna have to assist the the crusading sergeants who are now making their way up and preparing to do their work as well. Right, got our first unit moving up here as well, and we've got these guys also making their way up. But you guys, hopefully these get over here quick, because we haven't really had a lot of luck with ladder takes so far. But I feel like these crusaders will be
Our siege towers have been destroyed. We'll only fight harder now to get to our foe.
Yes, we are going to fight harder. But I do feel like these guys will have quite a bit of morale with them anyway. They do have, I mean, let's face it, these guys fight with a purpose. They're fighting to liberate the Holy Land from well, what they think is an evil foe. Probably is, so let's just get in there. By the way, reserve billman, I might need you in this battle, so if you could start making your way forward, that'd be excellent. Because for now, the battle is going to be fought on the wall, so move a unit of religious fanatics up as well. I might just have conjured up a new use for them. Might be able to get them on the walls and just try and start foddering around to hit the enemy a little harder. Right, these crusaders, by the way, you're doing a fantastic job. You're starting to clear out a lovely big space. You lot as well, you're doing pretty good. They are starting to lose their standing a little bit, but as it stands, they are whittling down the Saracen militia, and to be honest, help is on the way for you lot. The billmen have just made it onto the walls, so they're going to get themselves organised, and they are going to come and give you a hand. So lads, don't waste any time. Get moving. No, 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 no. I know some of you are thinking of taking that ladder. Get yourselves organised up here and do it quickly.
If we continue like this, we will smash the enemy.
You'd think once the unit commits itself to a piece of siege equipment, they'd see it through to the end, but no, they don't. They change their minds all the time. Right, the enemy's coming out to say hello. Have a unit of religious fanatics run up there and give them what for. Archers, can you focus your fire on trying to tackle these Mamluk archers? They've come to deliver us a bit of trouble. Billmen, you've got an opportunity to try and pin them down as well, so give them some hurt as well. Archers, kill shots only. Their armour isn't that heavy. Should be able to bring them down with some regular fire. And again, a fire arrow might panic their horses. Do what you want, lads. Right, religious fanatics, they're charging in. They're not really going to have a fun time, but they're going to do what they can. Either way, let the archers deal with the horse archers for now. Right, how are we doing up here? Crusader sergeants, you're doing an excellent job. You lot, are you nearly up? Right, fanatics, get up this wall and prepare to lend a hand to the billmen. I'm waiting for the billmen just to get themselves organised, because I don't want them just wandering off all around the city. Right, you lot are doing an alright job. You've pretty much got the Saracen militia under control now. So I think I'm happy to leave you be. Over here, yeah, these guys are not making my life easy. They are just happily sniping everything right now. Right, bring in a unit of knights. Bring in the big guns, basically. Bring my spearmen forward as well to start threatening them. And I'm not going to bring the cross forward just yet. Don't feel like that. I think that's going a bit overkill. But we are starting to rout the enemy Mamluks, so I think we have an opportunity here to potentially take the gates.
Only half the enemy force remains.
That is very good news. The battle is proceeding as planned now. Right, Billman, are we up this tower or not? Come on, you're being overtaken. Right, you know what? My patience with you has expired. Get in there. Because you've taken so long. Another unit is basically getting up the wall before you.
Slain the Saracen general. Now we must send his men running back to the desert.
To call him a general is very generous.
Our soldiers have proved their worth today. The enemy's walls belong to us now.
My knights have succeeded in their task. Okay. What do we know about the city plaza so far? It's all horse archers. I'm deploying an additional unit of knights into this field. Go in there and bring that plaza to my control. Sergeants, you now focus on that unit because we've got the rest of the enemy routing. You lot just keep pushing. You've got them. I mean, you lot are just really, really trying. I mean, these Crusader sergeants are just about expending now. But they've given their lives to God today, so I do not complain about their effort, for the effort they have made is the ultimate effort. Spears, get yourselves in the city. We're gonna flood this city with our own units.
Our men are in command of the city.
Excellent job, knights. With control of the city plaza, the Egyptians will now tumble. I suspect their organisation is already beginning to let them down. We've got a unit on the run. Billmen are trying to give chase, but they're struggling to keep up. I would rather them keep catch them now because they're going to prove difficult for my knights to deal with. Alright, Levy Spears. This might not be the best engagement for you, but can one of you make your way up there and lend a hand to the sergeants? They have really fought hard today and they are at their wits' end. You lot as well, since you pushed out your unit. You know what, actually, Spears, I have a better use for you. Intercept the routers. You lot, go lend help to your crusading brothers. They're at their wits' end and they could use your help. I know you're tired, but you can't leave a brother in need. Because I need to get these guys out of here. They're just about exhausted, but then again, reinforcements I'm bringing in aren't exactly fresh either. Then again, these Billmen are actually quite fresh. Billmen, bring your lazy asses up here. We've got a job to do. Right, how are we doing over here? Pretty much got control of this plaza. The last of the Saracen militia are coming in, so bring them down now while they're still routing. There we go.
The battle is very much in our favour. If we remain true and steadfast, victory will be ours.
That was a glorious slaughter, but never use that French accent again in my presence, right? Billman, form a defensive line here. You will barricade this street and you will prevent any fleeing units from reaching our zone of control. Alright, something's routing. Looks like we've lost a Billman, but at the same time the Egyptians, then, yeah, the Saracen militia is not going to stay in this battle for much longer. Right, Spear militia, you've got a unit of Saracen militia inbound. I need you to intercept them and bring them down. I've got the Crusader sergeants pursuing them from behind, so this is our chance to flank, surround, and sandwich them to death. Spears, waste no time in engaging them. They're weak, their stamina must be going down, so I want you to knock them right off their feet. They won't want to engage you.
Behold how our cowardly foe
Slaughter the lot.
It's time to press the attack.
This is a glorious victory today. Men, give no quarter. While it's a glorious result to our crusade, you can tell it's come at a cost. A lot of good crusading men died today.
All of Christendom will be awed by the victory we have won here today.
But at the same time, I don't think I would have fought this battle any different. Rufus, despite losing nearly 600 men, you eliminated your enemy completely. You've done a marvellous service for the Pope, for Christendom, and Catholicism, and for England. The crusade is a success. Now, put your feet up for a turn, but only for a turn. We still have work to do. You are the King of England after all, but Cairo now belongs to us.
Victory!
And you can continue your exterminating ways. Exterminate the city and prepare for your further orders. But the crusade has been deemed a success. Jubilant Catholics throughout the world are known for spreading their heathens, and now we've been given well, the Pope acknowledges my devotion. He should be fucking thanking me. But he's gifted us plenty of florins and a large-scale experience bonus for our men. So that I'm happy with. It looks like we get to keep our lovely mercenaries. So we are going to group them up just to help them on their way. But yeah, we've done it. Cairo belongs to us, and we can already, well, we can't upgrade it. We can actually just upgrade the strength of the walls. But yeah, there we go. We control the city. We're going to establish a church to also begin helping out and begin recruiting a spy. But we have a lot of florins to spend, and we will be spending them on the next episode, my friends. But let's just quickly jump through this. So King Rufus has actually become slightly less dreaded. He's actually become slightly more chivalrous, and he's also now known as Rufus the Crusader for being, well, the best crusader of the lot. I mean, he's also considered a Grand Crusader as well, which has given him free chivalry. It's actually made him chivalrous now. Free piety and free command when fighting Muslim forces. So, well done him. He's also gained a Hospitalia Knight of St. John, which gives him additional chivalry and command. And he's also been given a Templar Knight of the Knights Templar, which has given him more chivalry and command. And we now have perfect relations with the Papal States. We are now top dog alongside Denmark and Milan. So, I think now that we've made it up there, we should do well to stay there. And hopefully this extreme papal favour may resonate across the lands, and maybe the people who have been doubting and talking me down may now think twice about aggression against me. But yes, we did do an extermination, which means yeah, he's slightly less chivalrous now, but basically Rufus is now considered to be crusader.
My king.
Still, 2 cities of Egypt belong to me, and we could maybe move in to exterminate this faction altogether. Their resistance so far has been quite weak, so we will deploy a spy to find out more about our new foe. But if all goes well, we could basically play for Jerusalem much earlier than originally planned. There's also a city to the south, allegedly, that we might want to take control, especially if it's owned by the Egyptians. So, yeah, we need to learn more about our lands in this area. So, we'll be doing that on next time, because that is where we are going to leave it. So, next time, we're going to spend our prize money for winning the crusade, and, yeah. Hopefully this puts us on a clean slate with the Pope. Maybe we can start, maybe make a fresh start with some other factions. Maybe now Lorenz Becker will think nicely of us now that we are considered to be a very pious faction after all. Still, maybe this won't translate into anything, but we'll find out on the next episode. So, until then, have a lovely evening, my friends.